All right. Welcome back to the Redwood Gigantea Sports Podcast. Today we're going to be covering a recap of the 2025 NFL Draft. My name is Lucas De Lima. I am the managing editor of the Gigantea.
My name is Ryan Harris. I'm a sports editor and writer for the Redwood Gigantea.
Hi, I'm JV, and I'm a writer for Gigantea.
Hi, I'm Cameron again. I'm a writer for the Gigantea.
All right, so I'm going to go through the first, 10, 15 picks, then we'll look at late round notable draft picks. Because there were some notable ones in later rounds. The first overall pick, obviously, was quarterback Cam Ward out of University of Miami, Florida, to the Tennessee Titans out of the ACC. He won a 2024 Davey O'Brien Award winner for being the best quarterback in the nation. Didn't win the Heisman, but no, solid pick. Titans just took best player available. They needed a quarterback. Will Levis probably won't be the answer for them. He's solid. We'll see how he grows. But no, I mean that's nothing crazy.
Yeah.
They went simple.
Yeah, I agree. This was the best pick to make. I'd be crying too if I got drafted by the Titans, but it's whatever, and I hope they can build around him.
Yep. I'm excited to see how he works in their offense. You could go wrong here. I mean, they went for the best player available. Cam Ward.
These Titans fans have really gone through a lot. They've sucked a lot. Last time they were good was when they had the first season in the playoffs, and they messed up with that. So hopefully they didn't mess up with Cam Ward.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully they get good. It sucks to see teams that bad for too long.
Yeah.
Another team that hasn't had much success recently is the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they went number 2. They traded up with the Cleveland Browns to get the number 2 overall pick, and with that pick they took Travis Hunter, cornerback / wide receiver, out of Colorado University in the Big 12 Conference. He was a 2024 Heisman winner. That was a shock. I remember watching that in Seattle, me and Fabian, and that was a big shocker. I thought Cleveland was going to take Shedeur too. We'll talk about that later. But, Travis Hunter, talented, super talented. You hear that word a lot with him. And he's electric. He's going to be exciting to watch. He's going to make the Jaguars exciting to watch. And, yeah, good for them.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how he works in the NFL playing both DB and wide receiver because it's a whole different pace in the NFL, especially going from not that great of a division in the Big 12 to the NFL. That's a big jump to be playing both ways. It's a whole nother speed. I don't think he's going to work out playing both. I feel like he should just stick to playing wide receiver because that's what he was exceeding at in Boulder. And he shouldn't get too cocky and maybe, playing cornerback or maybe a couple plays out of the game, but playing almost every single snap in an NFL game. He's going to get himself hurt. He's going to be hurt in his sophomore season, and I'll stand by that if he plays every single snap in an NFL game.
I agree. This was also the obvious pick to make. Great player. Jaguar needed someone like him, especially for Trevor Lawrence, and hope he can work out. And I think he will work out, but we'll see.
I gotta agree because the NFL is totally different in college. Like you're gonna go against veterans, so I think he should just play one position like Ryan was saying, or else he could injure his body really badly.
Yeah. I remember before draft night in one of his interviews, Travis Hunter said it would be game over if he didn't play both positions at all, if he was only forced to play one position. I also agree. I think he should stick to one. I think he will stick majority to the wide receiver side of the ball. But I think he'll get a couple snaps in at corner if they need him for some special zone coverage or something. And it'll be interesting to see how he plays. He's a one-of-a-kind player. We've never seen this before since Deion Sanders back in the 90s. So it'll be curious to see how his career ends up. With the 3rd overall pick, the New York Giants selected Abdul Carter, defensive end out of Penn State. This guy's a dog, absolute beast. He's scary to go up against, and the Giants are building a really, really scary defensive line. Who else is there? Dexter Lawrence, Abdul Carter. They're getting some beasts on the defensive line, hopefully trying to rebuild and put the Giants back to their former glory days.
I agree with this. He's amazing, and I think he's also going to excel really well at the NFL level alongside Dexter Lawrence and that Giants defense. And I think that's it.
He reminds me a lot of Michael Parsons, to be honest. He's not too bad at dropping into coverage. He can be a dual threat. I think he can be a really big difference for this Giants defense.
I love this pick from the Giants because we've seen historically that their standout historical players are on their defensive side of the ball.
Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, Lawrence. Yeah, their most notable player, Lawrence Taylor, and Dexter Lawrence, already on that line. Yeah, this is gonna be a scary defensive line to run against. I'm excited to see how he does. I feel like he's gonna have defensive rookie of the year. He's gonna have a great season.
He's gonna be a front for that for sure.
Yeah,
he'll probably win that. Fourth overall pick, the New England Patriots selected Will Campbell, offensive tackle out of LSU. Obviously, the mindset there is you're trying to protect Drake May, who I think it looks like they believe is their future quarterback, because there's plenty of other quarterbacks still available on the board. Safe pick, first offensive lineman to be selected. He played for a half-decent LSU team last year, but I'm sure he wasn't the issue last year with that team.
I know that Drake May is absolutely was crying of happiness when he saw this because dude said, "I will fight and die for my quarterback," and that's what you want from an offensive line.
Yeah.
Drake May was probably had a rave after he said that. Like, that's who I want on my offensive line if I'm making that pick. If I'm drafting an offensive line, that's who I want on my line.
Hey, if I'm a quarterback and my newly drafted offensive tackle said he will fight and die for me, I just know that I'm not going to get touched from that side of the field at all. And I'm happy to be a quarterback with this pick, and especially his accent, his southern accent. It just tops it all off.
Yeah, this is great for the Patriots. They kind of always struggle at offensive line, and they can maybe give their offensive explosiveness for once.
Yep. With the 5th overall pick, the Cleveland Browns, who traded back with the Jaguars, remember, they took Mason Graham, defensive tackle out of Michigan. This guy was also, I remember watching this guy a lot, obviously, during the national championship run as well. This guy's also very solid. He's going to add to that Browns defense with Myles Garrett still there. Another solid best overall pick, or best available player picked by the Browns there.
Yeah, also just the safest pick for them. He's been great alongside Myles Garrett with his bag. I think it's going to be good, but they definitely need some more areas to improve on more, I believe. But, this was the safest pick for them.
I like this pick out of the Browns, just adding to that defensive line, just like the Giants had the idea of with drafting Abdul Carter. You need because run game is becoming a lot more relevant in today's game. A lot more running backs are getting the rock a lot more, and teams have been gravitating towards building their defensive backs because of standout wide receivers like Justin Jefferson. And I feel like teams are also noticing that running backs are still relevant to this era of football, and building the defensive line is so crucial, and it's a great pick.
A good pick in my opinion. It could take this Browns defensive back where it was like 2 years ago, very dominant, and Myles Garrett can try to lead them to big success this season.
And speaking about running backs, one running back that Mason Graham will have to face eventually is Ashton Jeanty, who was selected 6th overall by the Las Vegas Raiders out of Boise State University. This wasn't really a shocker. I mean, I was expecting the Raiders to mess up and not take him, but they made the right decision here. Ashton Jeanty, obviously a beast, arguably a Heisman winner. It goes both ways.
No, he was the Heisman winner.
We'll see about that. But no, Ashton Jeanty, beast, running back. A lot of Derrick Henry vibes for me. That's scary. That's
shiftier
scary.
than Derrick Henry.
We'll see.
So my thoughts, this is what you have to pick as the Raiders. You need a running back because is it Zamir White?
Of course.
Wasn't Josh Jacobs.
Zamir White. He was supposed to have a great season last year, and he was below average. And with the hire of Pete Carroll, he's historically a running back favorite coach.
Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, and exactly. He's going to use Ashton Jeanty just like how he used Marshawn Lynch. I'm excited to watch how he does in the NFL because he was unstoppable in college. I wonder if teams are going to be able to stop him in the NFL, or players.
Teams aren't going to stop him. He's going to be the offensive rookie of the year. He's going to rush for over 1,000 yards. I don't know about you guys, but this is this is a game changer for our team. This is amazing. We needed someone like him. We needed someone like him for the last 2 or 3 years since Josh Jacobs left, and this was the pick to make offensive rookie of the year, over 1,000 yards, over 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell, Jake is a Raiders fan,
Yes.
so very happy with that pick.
I gotta give Jake.
Dukes.
This could be a really big breaking point for this Raiders offense. They have not been good for a while, so maybe it can actually be good for once.
Yep. And we'll see their quarterback situation, how that evolves too.
Yeah.
7th overall pick was by New York Jets. They took Armand Membo, offensive tackle out of Missouri. I didn't hear much about this guy during the college football season. I remember on most draft boards he rose a lot, getting close to the draft, and then being taken 7th overall by the Jets. Their quarterback situation is also iffy too. We'll see if Justin Fields can truly reach his full potential, right, as a runner and as a passer. Yeah, another safe pick by the Jets. I don't know if their fans are too happy about that. They had really high expectations last year with Sauce Gardner and Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, and we saw how that ended up.
Yeah.
And yeah, interesting pick here by the Jets.
Yeah, I was praying that the Raiders didn't take this guy, but it just kind of confused me because there was more, like, I guess you could say needs or, like, yeah, more needs for the Jets rather than Armand Membu, but I guess it was just the pick to make here, especially considering how much he rose during the, few weeks before the draft.
Honestly, I'm not a big fan of this pick. They had so much of their needs, and he just went with an. I don't know. If I'm a Jets fan, I'm kind of pissed, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't have any thoughts on this guy. So go ahead and pass on me.
We'll see how that works out for the Jets.
Yeah.
Always wish the best for them because they've been bad for
Yeah.
even longer than some other teams. With the 8th overall pick, the Carolina Panthers selected Tatoria McMillan. I don't know how you say his first name. McMillan, the wide receiver out of Arizona. This guy's a dog, 6'5", one of the tallest receivers drafted in the last decade, along with Mike Evans.
I love this guy.
This guy is
To
super
be fair,
solid.
he doesn't watch no film.
He's good.
This dude watches no film,
he's
by the
solid.
way.
And he's going to... Bryce Young, another weapon for
I
Bryce
saw
Young.
him in
We'll
person.
see. So what are your thoughts on McMillan?
This is the best wide receiver in the draft. He's a wide out. He gets up there. He gets the ball. He literally is
Great
what you
jump ball
want.
too, right? Jump ball receiver.
Yeah, he's a great jump ball wide receiver. You see sort of how Mike Williams was coming out of Clemson way back in 2017. That's who I'm seeing in this. That's why I like him so much. I like this pick by the Panthers. It gives Bryce Young another target and someone that he could work with. Because Bryce Young in college, he was always that guy to just sling the rock down the field, and McMillan is going to be that guy to catch the ball for him.
As much as I was not a fan of him for saying I don't watch film, which is absolutely a red flag, he is a dog. He is great, and I think he'll have little issue transferring over to the NFL, and also another good receiver for Bryce Young to throw to.
He has a stature of a tight end, kind of. I think he can maybe turn into kind of a Deebo Samuel type wide back, very versatile. So I think this is a great pick by the Panthers.
With the 9th overall pick, the New Orleans Saints selected Kelvin Banks Jr., offensive tackle out of the Texas in the SEC. Yeah, this is another solid pick here. I know Kelvin Banks. I remember him during the season too. This guy's also a beast. He's going to be hopefully a big part of that Saints offensive line for a long time to come, protecting their future quarterback, whoever that is.
I wasn't really impressed by this pick, considering that they ended up picking Tyler Show out of all people. And
Yeah, didn't address the quarterback early.
They didn't, which I thought was honestly a big red flag by the Saints. But I guess it was the right pick to make. No, I'm not impressed.
I gotta agree, because if I'm the Saints, I'm targeting a quarterback because you're not sure about Derek Carr's shoulder injury. So in my opinion, not a good pick for the Saints.
All right, what's the 10th pick? Well, we had the Chicago Bears
Selecting Colson Loveland out of Michigan, and I am absolutely astounded that they didn't take Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren is 100 times better than this guy. I mean, Colson Loveland isn't bad, but he ain't no Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
He ain't no Tyler Warren.
My thoughts is it definitely comes down to play style that the coaches want to be doing, because Tyler Warren, I see a lot more as fitting that tight end role than Colson Loveland, because Tyler Warren, he could catch, he could block significantly better than Loveland, and I feel like the Bears see sort of just a bigger wide receiver in Loveland. That's why they selected him. I'm not against or for this pick. I'm just curious to see where they play him during the season, because if they want him to play more of that rush blocker position, then they made a mistake in not drafting Warren.
Yeah, well, in terms of my opinion, the Packers fan in the house here, I'm not scared at all by this pick. I think Tyler Warren was by far the best tight end in college football last season. He went off during the CFP and during the regular season too. And also not interesting why they even took a tight end in the first place, since they already got Cole Kmet, who he is a top 10 tight end in the league. He's solid. Yeah, I'm curious to see what Ben Johnson and his offensive prowess is going to do with Colson Loveland and Cole Kmet. We'll see. We'll see how this works out. I mean, I'll watch him 2 times a year. So
Yes. And now we're going to actually shift a little bit elsewhere. We're going to shift into some of the later picks, if you might say.
Let's get the Niners pick in there. I want to see what
we should get the Niners.
At number 11, the Niners picked
Yes.
Michael Williams,
Fantastic.
defensive end out of Georgia. He was the 11th overall pick. Fabian, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Great pick. I kind of expected Will Johnson, but Nick Bosa needs some backup, you know. Georgia's known for producing great defensive talent, so I think with Robert Saleh back, Niners can get back to their elite defense from our Super Bowl year, so I'm really excited for this upcoming season.
I think that was a good pick for you guys, too. And
All right. Late round notables. Who are we going to go with first?
Shedeur
Shedeur
Sanders.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
can I start, Lucas?
hold on. Let me say. Shedeur Sanders. Where was he even selected? I gotta
fourth
scroll.
round.
I gotta scroll all the way down here to find where he was drafted. Okay, Shedeur Sanders was drafted with the 144th overall pick in the NFL draft, 5th round. He is a quarterback out of Colorado. 2024 Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award winner, given to the nation's top upperclassmen quarterback. I mean, what can you not say about this guy?
Kind of a fan.
Go, Jake. Go.
Okay. This was absolutely deserved. This guy had to be threatening the GMs in order for this to happen. I don't know what was going on in those meetings and what Deion Sanders was saying to him, but I don't know. I don't want to know what happened over there. And especially going to somewhere like Cleveland where Dylan Gabriel was drafted before you, and there's a sex offender in that quarterback room. What do you think is gonna happen when you're getting drafted to that team? I don't even know if he's gonna get playing time. Honestly, if he does get playing time, I'm gonna have to I don't know. Like it's bad. Like I don't know. Like sorry for ranting this long about it, but it's just not. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what the Browns were thinking doing this. Like. Especially you, Ryan Harris. You were the one that was glazing Shedeur before the draft.
Yes, because
Absolutely not.
State your case, Ryan Harris. State your case.
I was only a fan of Shedeur because of.
Has a jersey of him, brother.
Yeah, I have a jersey of him because I saw his last home game ever at Colorado.
Yes,
I was front row there, I got it just to fit in with that crowd and just to be like. Yeah, I have his jersey, but I'm a fan of all the popularity that comes with him. I see him as just an exciting personality. I see a Dennis Rodman kind of personality, like just a flashy player. I'm not surprised that he dropped at all. To pick 144, yes, I'm surprised, but
I absolutely disagree with you, Ryan Harris. This guy said, if you are going to draft me, I am the future of your franchise. And who's the future of that franchise? Not him.
Dylan Gabriel, question mark?
Maybe.
Joe Flacco? Deshaun
Made a
Watson?
run with them.
Yes.
Kenny Pickett? Is Kenny Pickett there already?
Kenny Pickett's here with
We got
us.
5 quarterbacks
Kenny
in that
Pickett is
room.
here with us right now. And
Wow.
especially with just what happened in general. It was bad. It was all bad.
as a future Oregon student and Oregon football fan, I don't believe Dylan Gabriel is going to be that guy for the Browns. And so I'm not very. I'm just looking forward to see this offseason and the training in August to see what really happens in that QB room. Because there's going to be a lot of drama, especially from Shedeur, and it's going to be so exciting to watch. Like him or hate him,
it's
it's
hard
gonna
to
be
do
fun.
that when your daddy's holding your hand all throughout
Yeah.
college and getting your jersey retired for going 13-12.
Well, yeah.
And we're also
Yeah.
not done with the first round for me, anyways, because
Well, I was gonna say my take on Shedeur.
Oh, okay.
My take on Shedeur.
Sorry about
well,
that.
no,
Lucas.
yeah, because I was following it. Right, the Thursday. Okay, he doesn't get drafted first round. That was already a shocker, right? Shedeur's not going first round. The Steelers passed on him. The Saints passed on him.
The Raiders passed on him.
All these quarterback needy teams, they need a future quarterback. They passed on Shedeur, who at one point was fighting for the first overall pick with Cam Ward. Of course, eventually got dropped like number 2, number 3 on most mock drafts to Cam Ward. And
Like,
then
I-
doesn't go
like,
second round.
There
And
was
doesn't go
mock
third
drafts
round.
of him going like to the Steelers in the first round, and then literally like the hour before the draft started, like it's I don't even know what was happening in those
Didn't go
meetings.
third, didn't go fourth, then ended up going fifth to the Browns, who could have taken him way earlier, who took Dylan Gabriel earlier, who traded their pick back with the Jags to get Mason Graham there, number 5. I guess the Browns were like, F it, let's give this guy a chance. He may come with a lot of drama. Of course, his father's Deion Sanders. You know who he is, right? But they see the talent, right? He led the FBS in completion percentage last year. He's not a bad quarterback, but again, it's not only about how you play on the field; it's what you do off the field.
Yes.
And he will bring a lot of media attention. He's gonna have high expectations, no matter even in 5th round. He's gonna have high expectations, right? If you're a son of Deion Sanders, and you show off your bling on your wrist, you're a rapper like that, you're gonna get the attention on you. So. Crazy pick there by the Browns.
Might have just drafted him for the jersey sales that kind of have come with him.
And I'm pretty sure he's already top 10 in
Yeah.
jersey sales in the draft.
Top 5, I'm pretty sure.
Fabian, if you were gonna say your take on Shador Sanders right now, if you
I
wanna
gotta say is if he didn't have that last name, he wouldn't be drafted at all. He'd be working at
you're right.
McDonald's.
You're right.
He'd be working at
He
McDonald's.
wouldn't be drafted at all.
Nope,
If
not
he
at
was
all.
like
Any
Shadur
last name.
Smith,
Yeah,
he wouldn't go
he-
first
he
round.
would
He
not.
would the
He
same
wouldn't- he wouldn't
stats,
have even got
same
to know.
everything. I think would have been drafted higher. For sure.
Yeah.
He's not a bad quarterback. You guys are acting like he's bad. He's not.
No,
bad.
I'm not saying
No.
he's a bad quarterback.
I've seen him. I've seen him play in person. I've seen how Colorado fans view him in person. That no one likes him in Colorado except for the Sanders family. And I'll die on that hill. When I was there, he was sacked at the game. I was there. He was sacked like 6 times.
That's a big problem of his.
Yeah.
I can see that where he needs to improve his avoiding sack ability.
Yeah, and he holds on to the ball way too long, and everybody in the stadium, he would hold on to the ball for 5 seconds, and everybody would be like, "Throw the effing ball! Like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? Like, he's not enough already." Was what a lot of people were saying, yeah, and Colorado won that game by like 45 points, and they were saying he's not enough already.
Okay. Before we end here, I wanna
Well, yes, I'd like to say some more takes if you don't mind. For my next more hate watch take is going to be the Chargers taking Omari and Hampton with that pick.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can all say our own takes on our own teams.
Yes,
But if you
yes.
want to say a take on Ryan's team, go
Yes,
ahead.
I'm absolutely going to stay a take on Ryan's team.
All right. Well, let me explain this pick.
Okay, you explain.
So we picked up Najee Harris in the offseason, and that's a 3-yard running back, and we don't have J.K. Dobbins anymore because we lost him in free agency. So we need that running back that could really get five yards of carry, and we see that in Amari and Hampton. He's faster than Cam Scabo. He's more shifty than Cam Scabo. He was the right option to pick here, and there's nothing wrong with drafting this guy here. And we picked Mike Williams back up. Well, Justin Herbert's one of his favorite targets from when he was on the Chargers.
Mike Williams is like 38 years old.
He was drafted like 6 years ago, and he's playing at the top of his game when he was with Herbert. And he has Lad McConkey too. We did not need another wide receiver too in Matthew Golden. I'm attacking the Packers.
Okay, well,
All right.
in terms of the Packers, Matthew Golden, I was surprised I didn't take Will Johnson, but I'm happy we got a first-round receiver, first time since 2002. He's going to be great. And Anthony Belton, offensive tackle on North Carolina State, good. You're trying to protect Jordan Love. Stephen Williams, our wide receiver, good. Baron Sorrell, his story is amazing. He was there at the draft. Was supposed to go first round, fell to the 4th. Packers take him. He gets out. Everyone's cheering for him. That was a great moment. Colin Oliver, defensive end linebacker guy, beast. He's going to be great. Warren Brinson, we'll see. Mike Robinson, our only defensive back. That's only no I have to say about the Packers. Didn't get defensive back until 7th round. We'll see how he works out. And then John Williams, an offensive lineman for depth. So overall, I'm happy with the Packers. Draft.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Raiders picks right now, Fabian. If you're gonna say it right now, but ask Jack Betch. I think that's an underrated pick. I think he's gonna do well with Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker in the wide receiver room, especially for Gino, who needed those receivers to throw to after last season and everything. And then after that with Darian Porter, I think he has a high ceiling. And he can possibly, if he does extremely well in training camp, I think he could be a possible day one starter for the Raiders defense. And then there was 2 linemen taken after him, Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant. I do think that Charles Grant was a bit of a reach. for his pick, and Caleb Rogers, I think, was picked well at that 34th pick, and they needed more offensive line depth for Geno, especially after what happened in Seattle. I think that that was a good pick. Dante Thornton, another deep threat for Geno as well. I think he has definitely the most upside and ceiling for Geno. And the rest were defensive tackle Tonka Hemingway and JJ Pegues. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Wide receiver / quarterback Tommy Mellott. Quarterback Cam Miller as our quarterback of this draft, and Cole Gillimer as a linebacker.
Jordan James from Oregon reminds me a lot of Jordan Mason, so I think he can back up McCaffrey really well. I think he will have a stellar rookie season for the Niners.
All right, well, that should wrap it up. That's our 2025 NFL Draft Podcast. Be sure to read all our stories in the sports section of Redwood Gigantea. And yeah, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and see you next one. Thank you.